Oh, it's John Black, Super Chemist. This playlist is called, it's part 16. If you want to watch them all in row, go to my playlist called All I Know About Submissive Wives / Marriage / Family, and you'll get them all in a row. So far, we're basically just gone over the biology part of men and women when it comes to like going back into the caveman days and natural biomechanisms, survival biomechanisms that come into play. And let's go over what we already know, right? Women are weak, obviously, compared to a man, relative to a man. She's weak. She can't, it's just caveman times where you have to go out and kill your own animal and eat it. You know what I mean? So they're obviously selfish. You know what I mean? Not because they're horrible people, just because they're just like a poor person is going to be more selfish than when he has a lot of money because he doesn't have anything to share. And, it doesn't make you bad. Okay, no one's saying women are bad because they're selfish. That's just their biology. If they weren't that way, this species would not survive, right? Because men and women are opposites, but they complement. So if she's weak and that makes her selfish, and the man is strong, what does that make the man? The man makes that the opposite of selfish. It makes him giving. He gives to the woman. He's a giver and she's a taker. This thing that it's the guy's a taker is ludicrous. Obviously he's going out and killing animals for the woman. He's giving. She isn't giving him anything. And then women are entitled. Okay, and why are women entitled? Again, it goes back to biology. If you have 100 women, you can impregnate them with one guy and have 100 babies every year. But the other way around, if you have one woman and you have 100 guys, you can only get one baby every year. You can never, if any war happened or any famine or natural disaster and it took out your community, the women were valued more because you need them to replenish the population, right? The women are the limiting factor when it comes to reproducing, So they are the more valuable commodity, that gender. And that makes them entitled, you know what I mean? When there's a fire, the man will die because if there's a woman in there. Because the fireman's going to get the woman out first, Same with the lifeboats on a sinking ship. All the women are going to make sure, they're 100% sure they're going to live. Some of the men are going to have to stay behind and die for them. Okay, and imagine a world where men will literally just voluntarily die for you. You know what I mean? Same with wars. Men got to go out and die for It makes a woman entitled. Okay, so we've proven now with biology why they're selfish and why they're entitled. Right. Now let's talk about their pickiness, okay? Why are women so freaking picky, okay? It's in their biomechanism, and it's not just a regular biomechanism; it's a survival biomechanism. That means it's very strong. So if you don't have it, your species dies, okay? So why are women? It goes back again to the fact that it takes 100 women and one guy. You can make 100 babies, and the other way around. You can't. So why is a woman picky? Because a woman can only make one baby a year. So since she's limited on how many kids she can have per year, it has to be a really good, if you want your species to go forward, she got to be picky in order to get the best, sperm or whatever, DNA, so that she can have the best child, right? If she wasn't picky and she just picked all the weak, losers, men out there, the species would die out, right? Because then they'd be having weak little babies that are doing the same thing as their weak father. You know what I mean? So if they weren't that way, we would all be dead. So we're not looking at it like it's a bad thing. Okay, it is what it is. Just like you can say it's a bad thing that a bear eats a person or a tiger, a lion eats a person, but you can't really say that because it's just this It's just their biology. Bears eat other animals, including humans, if they get in their way. So you can't be mad. You can't say, "Oh, it's a bad." It's not. It's not bad or good. It's just the way it is. Bears eat gazelles. All right. Sure, that doesn't sound like a good thing, but it's not really good or bad. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? It's same way with this. These qualities that women have, it's not good or bad. It's just the way it is. You have to accept it or not accept it. Okay. If you accept it, your life is going to be a lot better because you're living in reality, and God gave you reality. So if you accept His reality and make make your life surrounding around that reality, then your life will be great. Your wife will be great. Your marriage will last a lifetime. There's always exceptions to the rule. There's always going to be one, two guys, one people that do everything perfect and their life is still screwed up. There's no guarantees on anything, okay? There's only statistics. If you have a parachute that opens 99% of the time and you have a parachute that opens 10% of the time, you're going to take the parachute that opens 99% of the time, okay? That's just logic. I mean, that's just common sense. But anyway, so they're picky because they have to make, when they pick a mate, it's got to be a good one because they can only make one kid at a time, man. But a man can screw 100 women. And who cares? The species will survive no matter what because he's doing quantity instead of quality. See, a woman goes for quality, a man goes for quantity, right? That's why men always want more women. Even if they have a woman they love at home, I mean, if the woman came and said, "Hey, I don't care if you have sex with other women, as long as it's just sex," every man on the planet would be like, "Okay, I'll do that, and I will have sex with other women." But the other way around, if a man goes to a woman and says that, if she says, "Yes, I would do that," then she doesn't really love that man because her biology doesn't allow her. Her biology forces her to pick her best person that she can get. So you know what I mean? So anyways, this is why men are not picky, because if you have sex with 100 women, you're bound just by statistics that one of them will give you a good offspring, right? So it doesn't matter. You don't have to be as picky because if you want to be, you get what I'm saying? You want to get, a man wants to have his sperm all over the place. That way, even that's, all he needs is that small percentage of people with, good DNA from females. So anyways, these three factors, right? The entitlement, the selfishness, the pickiness, okay? The pickiness, it leads to a thing called hypergamy, okay? Hypergamy is this thing where men say that women always are trying to change up, or get a better mate. You know what I mean? That they're always looking for, they'll drop you in a heartbeat if they think they got a better man over here. You know what I mean? Even though for 20 years this man has been faithful and loving and giving and, doing everything right. She has no loyalty. Women do not have the same type of loyalty that men do, because it's easy for a man. It's easy for anyone, not just people think I'm talking about it's different genders or whatever, and I am. Don't get me wrong, but it goes with gender. Really has nothing to do with it. If you have a big man, he's capable and strong. You know what I mean? He's capable and strong. Obviously, he's going to, give to that. Give. It's easier to give. You don't have to be selfish. It's easy to not be selfish when you have everything and you have the capability, the strength, the know-how to go get animals and kill them. And, it's easy to be giving. You know what I mean? But because of these three things, you get this thing called hypergamy. And I want you to think about it. Who cheats more? Females. Females, million times more than men, okay? This lie that men are cheaters and blah, blah, blah. They are, don't get me wrong, men are cheaters. But women are actually cheat a lot more than men, okay? And who leaves the relationship more than men or women? Women overwhelmingly leave. 95% of relationships are initiated by the woman. 80% of divorces are initiated by the woman. They're the ones who leave. They're the ones to cheat. So what? This hypergamy doesn't exist, but yet statistics show that it does, right? And the feminazis, female supremacists, and the female feminist or whatever, they erase this fact, this hypergamy, and this pickiness, this selfishness, this entitledness. Women back in the 1700s, they knew all this stuff. Everyone knew it. Men knew it. Women knew it. And then the feminazis erased this, by calling everyone a misogynist. Oh, you're just a misogynist. You just hate women. You think that they're entitled, picky, selfish, hypergamy type people because you hate him and you're just making it up. No. Everyone agreed, even the women. Everyone knew. Everyone. But so you need to take these things into consideration, this hypergamy and all these other factors that I'm telling you about. And this is why, say, let's say your woman wants to be all slutty. First of all, you should pick a woman that isn't trying to be slutty, first of all. But let's say she wants to go out. She usually doesn't do this, but her single friends are all going out to the bar, and she wants to dress all slutty to be, hang out with her friends, go to the bar, where obviously with a crowd of slutty chicks, dudes are going to be buying them drinks left and right, hitting on them, that kind of thing. And then you say, hey, I don't allow you to do that, okay? First of all, you need to put your foot down. You cannot allow that. If you allow that once, you have ruined your marriage. You have shown that you are an unfair leader, and therefore you're a bad leader. Because back in the day, the woman knew that these things happened, this hypergamy, this pickiness, selfishness, always trying to pick another better man. And so they understood when the man said, hey, I don't want you to be in these situations where these hypergamy traits will come out and ruin our marriage, because I value our marriage and our family, okay? And the woman said, yes, I value my marriage and my family too, and therefore I'm going to listen to you because I do understand that I do have hypergamy because of biology. Not because I'm a bad person. I know you're not telling me I'm a bad person, husband. I know that it's just a fact of biology, and that's why I'm going to listen. But today, no, the woman doesn't say that. The woman says you're a misogynist. But if you do, it's not that you don't trust the woman, okay? It's not about trusting the woman or not trusting the woman. What you're trusting by saying, hey, I don't want you going out being slutty in bars, putting you in situations where men are going to come up and hit on you all day or all night. It's trusting biology. The question isn't, if the woman asks you, well, you don't trust me, your reply shouldn't be, I don't trust you. Your reply should be, it's not about trusting you or distrusting you. It's about trusting or distrusting biology. And biology says that, and that you have a high chance of whatever. And the other thing is, if a dude went out to a place, there is no place that exists like this, but if there was a place that existed where gorgeous women just went there and all they did was buy drinks for men and hit on men, I guarantee you, if you were a dude and you said to your woman, hey, I'm going to dress all slutty, go out here or dress rich or whatever to attract as many women as I can, I'm going to this place where all there is gorgeous hot women throwing themselves at me, buying me drinks, trying to talk to me while I'm there with all my single friends edging me on, to cheat. The woman would then understand, oh, I understand now. Yeah, I don't want you to do that. They understand that. But when you flip it around and say, well, I don't want you to be in that situation. Anyways, remember, Pastafarian God's the only one and true God.